Alright guys, I've been doing more research on psychology and brain, like how the brain actually physically actually works, and basically your brain deletes stuff, guys. And basically that's just how it works. Is I don't know the exact wording, I have the memory of a goldfish, but basically it deletes stuff over time because certain particles or whatever it's called inside your brain start to break down over time. And so the stuff that you're not using a lot, the stuff that your brain doesn't have to remember a lot, it's just all right, let's just delete that, start breaking that down. We don't need that, so that we have more room for other stuff, new stuff, So that's kind of what's happening. Same thing with your habits. If you stop practicing something, it's going to start breaking that down, start deleting it. But if you start practicing something new, it'll start building it up. But you have to keep doing that new thing, that positive thing. You have to keep doing it if you want it to build big enough to where it's a permanent thing. So if you're trying to build a permanent mindset, a permanently good mindset, you got to keep doing that over and over for months, many months, if you want to keep it permanent, solid in your brain. And that could be anything. That could be, stopping binge eating or binge drinking or whatever addiction you have. Stopping it, stopping it before it gets you and you fall into the action. Or it could be anything. Maybe the habit is making the bed every morning when you wake up. If you want to make that new habit permanent in your brain, or very likely to stay and very hard to start to forget, you got to do it for many months, probably 3 to 6 months is what I've been reading. So, or 3 to 9 months. So just keep doing it. And same thing with forgetting things. You gotta keep at it, guys. So that's kind of how the brain works for patterns and whatnot, and forgetting and whatnot, and building new habits. And if you have a good habit, just remember to keep practicing it, because if you go a long time without doing it, practicing it, rehearsing it in your brain, imagining it, that's the other thing. If you spend 10-15 minutes a day in your brain imagining, your brain doesn't actually know that well of a difference between imagining and actually it happening in the real life, and just imagining. It doesn't know that well. So if you just start to imagine you with the habit, doing the habit, creating these new habits, positivity, it'll actually become a lot easier for that habit to stick, and it'll keep it cemented in there, and it'll prevent it from getting deleted basically from your brain. Another thing to do with the mindset is you have to, whenever you do something good and positive and it's helping you push forward, you have to celebrate that in your brain. Make yourself feel good, make yourself be good, woo, I'm winning, yes, let's go, I'm doing the right thing, whatever. It can even be going hanging out with your friends after, and that give you some dopamine, helps you celebrate, and makes you feel good about the thing you did, and your brain will remember that, and it'll make it way easier to stick to that new thing. Whereas if let's say you go to the gym, and then right after the gym something horrible happens to you every single time, it's going to be a lot likely that you're going to your brain's going to be oh my gosh, every time I go to the gym something bad happens, I'm going to stop going to the gym. Your brain might start to associate it with that. So associate you doing the good things with good things happening, celebration, all this stuff. It doesn't have to be way out of the top, but just make yourself feel good. And it can be the reverse too, something you're trying to stop. Maybe you're addicted to something. Every time you do that thing that you want to stop, make something bad happen. Every time you drink alcohol, you have to, I don't know. Let's see. Every time you drink alcohol, you have to do something that would suck for you. Maybe you also like playing video games. So every time you drink alcohol, you're forced to not play video games for that entire week. And so, it's going to be hard at the start, but eventually your brain over time will learn, oh my gosh, I don't get to play video games now, I have to stop drinking. And then over time, it'll just become easier. It's all about taking advantage of these little systems in your brain and getting your mindset to where it needs to be by taking advantage of those systems, the software, your brain software. You gotta take advantage of this, and science explains a lot of this. So you can just do your own research, figure it out, guys. There's nothing you can't do. Just interpret the science and use it in your own life. You got it.